Hello, watch lovers out there in the world. This is Angel again here at SwissWatchExpo, and today we're taking a look at what I like to call VSW, very special watches, 5 of them. Stick around and see what we've got. So today we're here with what I like to call VSW, very special watches. And with 2023 approaching, we may even be in 2023 already when you're seeing this video. I thought about what would be the new thing that could give you some classic watches to add to your collection when you have something, a pretty good collection going already. So I like to think of it as green is the new blue. Most people have black and white dial watches in their collection and then step out by adding either a blue or a gray dial. But I tend to think that green gives you a very classic look, but something a little different than what you see out there in the marketplace. So today we're going to look at my top 5, going from my favorite to my most favorite watches in these collections. So first up, I've actually chosen a wide range of watch brands, everything from Breitlings to IWCs to Rolex. So number 5 on my list is going to be this gorgeous Breitling Chronomat, done in the green dial. Okay, that's going to be the touch of green on this one. Absolutely stunning bracelet. You know, some people love this bracelet, some don't. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It feels very nice on the wrist. You'll have a mix of the satin and polished finish throughout the bracelet. And if you take a close look at that dial there, you'll notice that the sub-dials are done in black. So it gives you a little contrast. And then your classic rider tabs here on the bezel, unidirectional bezel rotation on this one. And then you'll have the red sweep here. Now you'll notice that it's running. That's going to be for your tachymeter here on the outer inside of the dial. And typically you'll see people that want to use this as the second hand. Don't do that. That will cause you to need to recalibrate the movement every so often. So instead, use the sub dial there if you wanted to know the seconds. Speaking of the sub dials, you'll have one to indicate your seconds, of course, and then your minutes, and then, of course, the hours that have elapsed. So this is going to be my number 5 watch. And then they give you, of course, my favorite, an exhibition case back. If you take a look, you can see that rotor there, done beautifully in this Breitling for Bentley. So that's my number 5. Next up, now if you have a different order in these watches, please comment down in the comments below and tell me your order of what watches you like for this collection. But for me, next up is going to be the IWC Top Gun Pilot Watch. I think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous textured watch. The dial, of course, is going to mimic the control panel there in your airplanes. So you'll always notice that the pilot watches will have the 12 o'clock indicator with a triangle at the top. So you always know which way is up when you're flipping that jet around in the air up there. Of course, you'll have the titanium pushers and then the ceramic case. The numbers and the vintage inspired hands will definitely pop, especially when you're in low lighting. And then, of course, IWC does a beautiful day date window here at the 3. One of my favorites, the way that they do it. They also have done a gorgeous job on this traditional Tang buckle strap here. If you notice, nice and easy to place onto your wrist without having to utilize a deployment buckle. So it's very user-friendly. Top Gun. This is a gorgeous watch to add to your collection. Okay, so I'll put that here. Next up, I think I'm going to go for the Breitling again. Now, the reason I love this Breitling is because not only does it give you that vintage inspired look, it gives you the size that people are looking for right now. Typically with vintage watches, you'll notice they're 34, 36 millimeter. This is going to put you at 40 millimeters. Also, one of my favorite details on this watch, of course, besides the pistachio, that reminds me of the baklava we had last evening, the pistachio dial, but the numbers, they are done in a 3-dimensional way. And then the cutaways that they've done here at the 2, the 4, the 8, and the 10, It's just so precise. It's so gorgeous. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous watch to add to your collection. Then again, the tachometer is around the outside of the bezel, and then you'll have your minutes indicators as well, vintage inspired hands. And then the detailing that they've taken here along the pushers and the crown, you'll see some beautiful engine turn etching there as well. And then they've decided to put the deployant clasp and also an exhibition case back. Now this one is beautifully done with 28 jewels. It's just an absolutely gorgeous watch, front and back. So great, great mint colored, pistachio colored addition to add to your collection, and definitely a conversation piece. Okay. Now you can't do a top 5 without including Rolex. Okay. So for me, the number two watch in the top green watches for 2023 is going to be this Rolex OP. So the dial, and I'm not sure if it translates on camera, but it has almost a sunburst effect as you move it. It's done in that almost signature Rolex green. Reminds me of the box, which is equally as gorgeous for a watch like this. And this one does come with a box. So it's a nice accessory to be able to display your watch when you're not wearing it. But I highly doubt you won't wear this one often. So of course you'll have the indices here that are done with the Super Luminova, and they could have just left it there, but I think one of the best details are the smaller minute indicators around the outer edge of the dial. That just adds such an elegant touch to the watch. And then of course the smooth bezel. I'm on the fence now. I used to be specifically fluted bezel on a Rolex watch, but recently, I've noticed I've been inclined to enjoy these smooth bezels. It's recessed, so it does assist with, if you're wanting to wear it, you don't have to worry as much about damaging it. And then, of course, I love the way that they've done this satin and high polish on the lugs and throughout the bracelet here. Typically on Oyster bracelets, especially in sport models, you usually see that all satin. So I love that touch on that. So number 2, and the green is the new blue category. And then last, but certainly not least, everyone knows I love diamonds. So the Rolex President with the green enamel dial done in yellow gold, 36 millimeter. This is number 1 for the green is the new blue collection. So of course you'll have full prong set diamonds on the outer bezel, and then you'll have shared prong diamonds on the inside of the dial. Now, one of the things that stood out to me about this watch was the Arabic numerals. So typically you'll see these numbers, and when they start getting to the bottom of the dial, they rotate them. But with this, they kept the numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8 upside down. So I think that's a gorgeous touch. I think it's very unique, and it adds that much more detail and purpose to the watch. This is something that you will hand down throughout generations, very unique. I can't say that I've seen this watch many times, so this one is going to be my number 1. So tell us what you think down in the comments. Put your watches in order and see if we match up. Thanks again for watching today, and we'll see you next time at SwissWatchExpo.